figure out a few things. I've been away for a minute. How's everyone doing? Welcome in, welcome in. How you doing? Hey guys, hey, thank you for the daily heartbeat. I'm just trying to get back into everything. I'm fixing to do a little cooking and stuff, and um, trying to answer a few questions where I can. I was looking for my mic, but it's been a little bit of a on the go for quite some time now. How's everyone doing? All right. Thank you for liking the live. Thank you for sharing it out. I appreciate you guys. Hey, welcome in, welcome in. How's everyone doing? Thank you for tapping on the screen. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. All right, guys. So, hey, thank you for the like. I'm trying to get my options set up here to where I can see everything. How are you doing? Relaxing on a Thursday. That's good. That's good. Are we staying home today, or was just an off day? All right. Hey, how's it going? It's not showing up anything in my chat over here. Let me pull this across over here so I can see everybody. Thank you for the roses, Lisa. I appreciate you. All right, guys. I'm just gonna kind of dive into it. Let me get everyone turned around this way, so we can. I may have to even turn this way as well. There we go. All right. So I got a new Conifian. This knife here is something that you don't see every day, and I wanted to try it out. I want to go ahead and make some lunch. I've got some squash, zucchini, and then I have my carrots here that I'm going to rinse off momentarily. And then I have 2 potatoes here that I'm going to also chop up. Then we may introduce some pasta. So we're going to add one of our pastas here to our water here in just a second. I'm going to get that water going now. When you get your water up and running, always want to turn that on high. And I like to throw a little bit of salt. Some people throw a little olive oil in there, and then I put my lid on there. My lid has a whistle in it. So what we're going to do first is, let's test this one out, guys. So it is very nice and sharp. This one, I think it's going to be, it's kind of interesting to handle, especially with the way the handle is set up. It does have a nice pinch point to grip if you're someone that wants something to chop with. It seems to be cutting nice and straight. And we were able to get a shape out of that one. So, yeah, I'm impressed with that. We'll go ahead and clean up our confetti. And I'll rinse this off real quick. And we'll get started. So, with this knife, guys, I was like, what if someone had an issue gripping just like an everyday handle, right? So if you had an issue with gripping like that everyday handle, I think this one could be a game changer and allow you to have a little more mobility with this knife, just because it offers a different style of grip, a little more ease, and you may not even have to have as many knives in the kitchen with this one. Just because if you need a cleaver, you have it. If you need something like a chef's knife, it's pretty much given. So you're kind of getting everything you need in one fell swoop. I'm going to start off with our onion here. Normally you want to peel everything off, but I find it sometimes easier to do it this way. Just go ahead and chop through there and chop through here first. Slide that into your sink, and then I just come over here to my sink and run the water, and it actually kind of helps keep those tears away just a little bit. Rinses it off while you're peeling it, whether it may be dirt underneath these loose pieces. Sounds like everything's getting heated up over there, and then it keeps everything nice and clean, just like that. So with this, I'm just going to start here. As we are looking, we're just pushing down in that chopping motion. So had a nice chop there, and I usually like pinching it like this. Now if you want, let's go over this real quick. If you want diced onions, right, instead of doing it this way and then turning it sideways and going back, if you leave a little handle back here on the back and you just come a little more than halfway, use a tip and come down. I was wanting to test this out, so this is perfect. And just so you can kind of see what I'm doing here, I'm coming up so far, kind of making like a hula skirt, if you will, with this, and then you just go right into chopping, and then you can see it just dices it up real easy. And you can adjust the length, the size, and the cut of those diced onions. Just like that. We're going to slide those over here to the side. And I'm just going to go ahead and make some slices out of this one. Nice and easy. I'm liking it. This one is actually not bad at all. See, I want to get rid of this piece. And I'll show you why here in just 1 second. Some water. I just washed my pan or pot. But the reason why you don't want to, bite into this. This is that root system. It's going to be real tough. If you leave it in there for sure and let it cook down and get some flavor if you want, but it's just going to be really tough. Okay, leave those in a little bit bigger chunks. And we'll move on to our next one. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to also introduce something new. So I'm excited about this one, guys. If you know me, I love cooking with olive oil. I love olive oil as a good base in certain dishes and things, because it's a healthier alternative to those harsh, like vegetable oils and those, what's my other one? Well, there's your vegetables, your canolas and stuff. Your more natural ones is going to be over peanut oil. That's the one I was thinking of. So over your peanut oil and your canola oils and stuff like that, those are nice to cook with. Like if you're doing stir fry, vegetable oil or peanut oil. High temperature allows you to reach higher temps so you can cook fast and hard. That's suitable for that. What I like to cook with, though, if I'm doing my eggs, something that you don't want to have on a high heat right away off the bat, always start low to medium. All your dishes need to start low to medium heat with your skillet. And the reason why I say that is if you're always burning something, that could be why. It's because you're in a rush trying to hurry up and cook it all the way done super fast. Let's dive into that olive oil, guys. So I have here, if I'm saying it right, Levantine Za'atar. Now this is not the olive oil, but this is something you can put in that olive oil. They shipped it. It came from overseas. I had to try it. We're going to try some of this seasoning in our cooking. Let's just pop this open real quick, guys, and let's take a sniff. Let's hear that nice crackle. and pop there. Oh, that smells really good. These smell really delicious, these seasonings. So we're going to be doing some of this, and then we're going to be cooking with this olive oil that is right here. You ready to see that bottle, guys? Let's unpackage it. I wanted to do the first take with you guys. Now this is a natural. This is not filtrated or anything like that. So if you're looking for something to jazz up your cooking, if you want something a little more natural, get unfiltered. If you want something a little cleaner for like cooking with eggs and stuff like that, you can get the filtered version, but always remember it needs to be in a cold press. Okay, so let's take a look, guys. There it is. This is the olive oil. It's a premium extra virgin olive oil. This one will probably run you anywhere in the ballpark around $27 or so, because it is made the old way by grinding stones and other things as such, made by hand and so on. So I am really interested in trying this one out. I'm just going to give it a shake because it's traveled and it's been setting up. We're just going to pop the top here. Now if you're not wanting to spend $27 on oil, I do have some other options, and I'd be glad to go over those. I don't know why my live chat is not chatting. Girl Dad, hey, how you doing? Thank you for speaking up, guys, in the chat. You're new here. Nice to meet you, Big David. How are you doing? My chat, guys, on my YTube over here is not working as well as it needs to. And how is everyone doing over here on the TikTok? Thank y'all so much for those taps. I appreciate it. Thank you for liking live and sharing it out. Alright. So, I'm just going to open this up. It's a new bottle. You can hear it crackling open. Oh, look at that. I love the spout on this one, guys. It's going to allow it to roll out and pour off. Wonderful. I'm just also going to just go ahead and put a little bit in my skillet over here. And since I'm going to be doing my noodles just to help keep stuff from sticking, I'm going to add just a little bit to my water. And that is coming out nicely there. And then, like I said, I want to try this out with you guys so you can get my first impression on it. Let me get a little saucer bowl here. Now this one is made to where you can sip it, drink it, whatever you want to do with it. This one's made for you, okay? So with this, I'm just going to put a little bit here in the bottom of my dish. And we're just going to take a little pinch right off the top and add it to this. I'm going to take my veggies here in a second. I bought this bread just for this one. So let's take a look at this, and we'll even see how this knife cuts bread. I'm not sure how well it will do, but that's what we're here to test out today, is the function of this one. And guys, I should be getting back in the groove of things. My dad, he had a surgery, and so it's just been a little bit of other stuff happening. So thank y'all for your patience and sticking it out with me, guys. Wow. Not hardly any crumbs there. Nice, flat, and smooth. I'm impressed. Rocco knife here it's doing its thing. It's rocking. Oh, hear that? That is the whistle. That means it's time for us to add in what we want to cook in our pot. So now that the heat has gotten up a little higher, I'm going to set this box out of the way so you can see a little bit more. Alright, it is now to a nice broil and boil. Let's make a nice clean slit in that. And these here are going to be a cheese tortellini. That's a little noodle that is filled with cheese. We're going to get these on boil over here. Now these don't take as long as you would think they would. And another one of my favorites, this one has a ricotta cheese and spinach in it. It has fresh spinach leaves in it. So we're going to have a little bit of pasta and a vegetable medley for lunch today. Okay. We have that going over there. Let's take this right here, guys. Just beautiful. Look at that. So smooth. No hiccups, no holes, no tears. Wow. And this is one of my favorite parts, guys, is this right here. So what we're going to do is take this bread and we're going to take that seasoning that we just added to this brand new olive oil. Now these are both found by the same company. I won't lie, I got this one here on TikTok, guys. A lot of people said it didn't have much flavor, it wasn't good, and then there was a lot of people that are like, oh, it's the best thing since sliced bread. So let's try it. That is very good. It has a nice olive. It's like a. Let's give one more bite. There's that rich, deep olive flavor. It's so smooth. It's very pleasing to the tongue. It's rich, especially once you add like the seasoning to it. Is very rich. I would have to say this is a natural olive oil. It's not anything I don't taste anything like metallic-y, like it's been made in a factory or anything like that. That is good. I'm going to have to make some more up over here because that is delicious. Oh, let me take a second and look at my chats. How's everyone doing? Samantha, thank you for joining in. How is everyone doing? So I am just making up some stuff for lunch. I'm going to make a vegetable medley with some potatoes, and I will be potatoes, onions, squash, zucchini, and carrots. And then on top of that, once my base, I'm not going to be using a pasta, I'm going to be doing an olive oil kind of base to it, everything. So with that, then I won't have to have the extra calories in the cheese sauce because I have the cheese inside the tortellini, and the ravioli has that. Oh, what was it? Ricotta. For whatever reason, it slipped my mind. But it has the ricotta cheese in it. Let's go ahead and look at our potato here. Now these, I washed them last night and I put them in the fridge. So they are a little hard. There we go. Did not want it to slip and lose a finger, because this one is a sharp knife, guys. It's slicing through everything nicely. Now you can definitely, and I usually do this number here, I cut the ends, toss the ends. You can do them in chunks, you can do them in slices, guys, however you want to do it. You can peel them, you can chop them. I'm going to chop these into some chunks here. How's everyone else doing today? This one is not letting me see everybody's comments. You're home every day. I'm off work on short-term disability. Okay. I hope everything is going okay, though. Thank you, Chase. I appreciate that. I typically try to go live, guys, but I have my own family, so if you don't see me on for a while, there's usually something happening, something going on. Like right now, we're actually trying to head out of town for an event. Alright, getting closer to the end of it, guys. And this is acting just like a chef's knife. And it's like, you can just literally rock and chop all the way through all of this. I'm impressed with this knife, guys. I really am. Because look at that. I'm able to just take it, slide it on back. Slide it on back. Typically with a normal knife, I wouldn't do that, but the way it is, the handle and everything, while you're sitting there, you can rock and chop. If you have a pizza at home, you don't have to go get another knife to switch out. You can just do what you need to do, right through the skin and all here. Toss the ends. Those are going to be hard. We're just going to find, you don't want to get them too thick, maybe around something like that. How's everyone doing? Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you. As I'm cooking, guys, I apologize, but I won't be able to see everything, especially if I want to keep my fingers. Wow, this is just a wonderful design. I will say that much. And like, if you want, you can, there's some of that rock and chop action that I was telling you guys about. Square it up if you want, chop it down. And I'm just going to go ahead and get my skillet. I'm going to go ahead and turn on, like I said earlier, guys, you're going to want to turn it to, like, if you got numbers, about number 2 or low to medium heat to get everything warmed up. And like, just look at that wonderful olive oil. It's got a nice rich green to it, and that's because it's a raw. It's like a raw oil. It's not anything that's been filtrated, so you're getting the best out of the olive oil itself, I feel like. I love using the raw ones, typically not so much to cook with, but I want to see how much flavor I can get out of this meal. So I'm definitely going to try and use up all of it that I can in different ways. See if I want to, purchase it again. Now I will say it's worth at least trying. It is definitely worth that first look, that first try. We're going to throw these in here, get it going. Stack these up real quick. Look at that, one-handed, nice chop, cut down. I'm multitasking at this point, right guys? I'm actually just throwing everything in here because it's going to get all whisked, and we'll move everything over here to the cooking in one moment. Get your handles off to the side here. go ahead and grab the potatoes, add those in as well. And like I said, I'm going to use some of what they have. I may add a little bit of salt and pepper to this dish. And if you're just tuning in, it's Levantine. If you're just tuning in, guys. Now, I found this one here on TikTok. Came across them late one evening. You know how that goes, stay up late, doing scrolling, you run across something. And I came across them. It's a smaller company that's just starting out. I was like, hey, you know, the small companies, you know, they generally produce a great product, especially out the gate. Because it's a natural product, it's not high manufactured or anything like that, from what I was under the impression of. So, with that, I'm going to do a little bit more olive oil. I have some in the base, so I'm not letting anything burn or stick. I'm going to throw a little bit more across the top. Add that cat pepper. And I'm just going to kind of coat the top, because once I start stirring, it's all going to mix across everything. And this is a very good and healthy mix, especially like if you want to take a little bit more and you want to create something as like a side dish. You can take a little bit of this right here, and you can, again, I just put it away, but I come right back to it. And this is why I like the raw ones. You can just dip your bread in it. It's a little thicker. It's not. This is that bread that we cut. Look how thin and wonderful that is. You just mix this up like so. And then you're off to the races with the dipping. This is good. It is a good knife. This right here, you can just see the seasoning all together, guys, on this bread. I'm gonna try to set that down. That olive oil is tasting really rich, especially with that added seasoning in there. So now that we have our skillet all set up and we did some of the prep work already here with our vegetables, we're gonna move on to the zucchini, get it started, but it's green, so we're gonna add it about halfway through to closer to the end, because it will cook a little quicker. Now my stove is heated up here. As you see, I have plenty of seasonings. I'm going to go ahead and add that salt. And I like using sea salt. Again, if you can use something that Mother Nature gives us, is always going to be best. And this one, it's not like you have to grip it. You don't. It just kind of floats and sets into the palm of the hand here, guys. It seems to be nice and sharp from my demo here on YTube. And you can really just get it as thin as you want. If you want, make sure your platform is nice and stable, and you can just kind of rock and chop through it. I usually like doing a forward motion like so. To, you go right down the middle, set that to the side, and you can cut it again, however you want. And then you can just go right into chopping it. chop it up is fine, or however you want to it. If you're like me, and you want to have a little something extra to chew on, so you can feel like you're eating something and not something that's just completely mushed and blended, I would recommend leaving them in some sort of thickness, probably about a minimum of something about like that. The reason why is because if you cut them up too small, they cook off or they cook down, and then you don't have anything else to chew on. It's just soup. Now, if you're making soup, it's great. Chop them up. Since I have a lot of extra pieces, I'm just going to go ahead and take this on over. And as you can see back here in the background, I do have other options to use. I do rotate through them. A lot of people are like, do you ever use all your knives? Yes, I do. The reason why is because sharpening them, it does take a little bit of time and everything. Let's take a little quick second and review everything, the chats. Miami, what's up? Chase, thank you. Dreams, how you doing? Thank you. I see you. Appreciate y'all. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and move this, and then y'all are going to come with me. Give me 1 second. Now always as I go, I just kind of rinse and clean. Now with knives, never just throw them in the dishwasher. Don't ever throw them in the sink. And if you're ever interested in Yuki, they're great. But with this, guys, I'm just going to go ahead and rinse this off and wipe it down. And I'll clean it up here in a little bit. But I'll set it over here to kind of stand up so it's not letting water set on it. Alright, wipe this off. Alright, let's go over here and get to cooking. Now if you're like, man, that man loves eggs, it's true. I have chickens. Alright, so we have our pasta here. It's already done. Our veggies are cooking. For this one, we're actually going to use a spoon because it's going to be very versatile in what we're cooking with. Between our noodles right here and what we're cooking here. If some falls out, it's alright. Don't burn yourself. Let it stay where it's at, or if you feel confident, just grab it up and slide it back in there. But always remember safety first when cooking. And now, the only thing I have in here right now, and I'm going to taste and see how this does, is I have our seasoning from Levantine that I got from TikTok. I have the Levantine olive oil. And then I just have a big thing of sea salt, and I've already added my salt to it. I'm not using any butter as much as I want to. I'm holding back because I'm trying to be good and have a good healthy meal here. what I'm doing is I'm allowing this to kind of caramelize a little bit. Then we're going to add just a smidge of water to help kind of steam everything and bring everything up to a nice softness. Now you can add, if you wanted to make it more of a soup, add a little bit of butter to this, and then add either some beef or chicken stock. If you're a vegetarian, just leave it like it is and add the water. So this is a great meal for either side of the table. If you like more of a grilled veggie, let it sit here, let it cook down a little bit. It may take a little bit more time, just depending on what you have going at the time. Okay, guys? Welcome in, welcome in. Hey, thank you for liking the live. I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Whatever, my chat is not working here. Let me see. Alright, appreciate you guys. Thank y'all so much for watching and the thumbs up and the taps and everything. Back to it. If you want, let me know in the chat. When I come back, I'll take a look. What ingredients or what kind of meals do you love? So this has always been a passion of mine, and it just coincided. So if you're tuning in, know that I do also get into fragrance, and I have another channel on TikTok for that. But I will post on TikTok from time to time on that, and I will introduce that to my YTube, mixed in with my cooking and stuff like this. So then that way I can have a variety, but still you're getting so much flavor. You're getting the seasoning. I'm smelling the olive oil. I'm smelling the onion mixed up with the seasoning. It's giving off a nice, it's very aromatic, like, it's so like a fresh cooked meal. It's very fresh. It's that fresh cooked meal kind of scent. By no means am I a chef, but I have been cooking since I was about 5 with my grandparents. The Lord blessed me with wonderful grandparents. They always taught me how to cook. I have one grandma that leaned a little bit more Italian, the other one was a little more Southern food. And my mouth is watering because I'm thinking of all the food and stuff that they used to cook. From homemade mac and cheeses to the fried potatoes, the homemade meatballs where you press them, you fold them, you season them, you put your cheese in the meatball, and you just do all the work to it, put all the love and care. There's just so much that I pray that I can pass on to my kids. And at this point, guys, this is where I'm going to say let's go ahead. We add just a little bit more olive oil there just to keep it from sticking. This one would have been a perfect one for me to cook in my wok, but my wok is very big, and I did not want to have to mess with doing all of the cleaning and the prep and everything for that, because that one, it is something you got to love and cherish and take time with the wok. Okay? So I'm just going to step over here, just going to douse it with just a little bit of water in the bottom. And now we're going to let that kind of heat up and simmer. I've already got the heat off. These, I'm just rotating these around from top to bottom. And these are looking wonderful. They're plumping up. With these, you got to be gentle with them. Okay, guys? If you're ever doing ravioli, if you're ever doing the tortellinis, you got to be gentle with them, because if you just bash around in the water and stir them too much, you're going to knock the filling out. They're going to crumble, especially if you let them cook too long. You want to get them to a nice roiling boil. Get them to where they're starting to change that from that raw look on the dough, and then once they start looking something similar to this, go ahead and turn it off from that high heat. Let it just start simmering down. Then that way, once you are ready for it, they're finishing up their cooking process. You're not having to stir them. You don't have to worry about them getting stuck to the bottom. There's just so much that you can help to make that meal one step better. I took this one straight from the pot. Consistency is chef's kiss. No joke. Like, if we look at these guys, this one, I'm gonna push that one to the bottom a little bit, rotate some of these up. Like this one, that's why you let it rotate, because this one here is already done. All these look to be done and good to eat. The veggies are coming up next. Since I got my water in here and I don't have to worry about it sticking, I'm just going to go ahead and let this simmer on. I'm going to turn the heat up a little higher since we have the water, because what we want to do is now cook the water out of it, and it's going to steam up through the vegetables. Alright, that's pretty much the how-to of getting this one started, guys. Okay? Thank you all so much for coming in. Let's see. Yes, Keisha, I was trying to... Is that daffodils and dreams? Okay, I see. A second ago, I was trying to cut and read, and I couldn't do both. And over here. So I'm working 2 live chats right now. Hey guys, how's everyone doing over here? I appreciate you. Thank y'all so much for liking the lives and tapping everything out. And now you can see that steam starting to roll. Excuse me. You can start seeing it steam up. And that's what you kind of want to do. You want it to boil for a little bit. Give it a minute. Well, a few seconds really. And then you want to start rotating it around. Because remember, we already let our onions and everything earlier kind of caramelize with our squash and our potatoes. And then we added our greens next. Now the greens typically do cook down a little quicker, so don't want to cut them too thin, but you also don't want it to be a big honking piece of veggie. And then as we persist through this steam is going to help heat up and steam up everything. And as you can see, we're getting lower in the bottom of the water. So I'm going to start lowering the temperature. Otherwise you're going to run into scorching. And we don't want to do that. Because if you want them to have like a nice crisp to it, go right ahead. But if you want something that's a little softer and a little pliable, just to go with the touch of the noodle and where they kind of finesse and go together, kind of simultaneously, and they're not, one's crunchy and one's soft, I'm going for that nice blend together. I'm just starting to cook down. That's good. And it's just really maintaining it, stirring it, not letting it stick. Just working it around the skillet. Letting everything come together. And in the rush of things, because like I said, I'm making this for lunch. And with me making this one for lunch, guys, what I'm doing over here, if you're hearing this clanging, is I almost forgot my carrots. So I'm trying to cut them as fast and thin as possible. And another thing that's awesome about these carrots being in this meal, guys, is that with it being in there, it's going to bring a little bit more color, draw out your greens and your yellows in your meal. There we are. We'll get these worked in there as well. Just going to let it simmer down a little bit so we're not burning stuff. Look guys, this smells so delicious. I'm trying to get this big one right here, sitting down here on the bottom. Thank you for stopping in, guys. I appreciate you. How's everyone doing? J-Dub! So what's cooking? If you're just tuning in, I have made some raviolis with ricotta and spinach. Also in here, we are looking at a cheese tortellinis. Oop, knock that off. We're looking at some cheese tortellinis right over here that I've already got kind of cooked up and simmered up. Now this over here is a vegetable medley. So this is a kind of a vegetable for vegetarians if you want it, because we're only using natural ingredients that I found on TikTok, which is lemon thyme. Has a good aroma to it, especially when you mix it in with the olive oil and you're cooking with it. I think this is going to taste wonderful. And it lists all the need to know info here on the back. Then we have that olive oil one more time, guys. The lemon thyme olive oil. They make it the old-fashioned way. And then we've used some sea salt. So what we're doing is we're bringing our vegetables up to speed to be a nice, soft, tender, not mush, but nice and tender, so that it will complement the softness of our pasta. And then we're just doing basically season and olive oil for this dish to kind of help reduce some of those calories intake and stuff there on our dishes. And what I'm going to do is slide past you guys real quick. Because we are getting close to being done. And if you're just tuning in, I was stirring this back up. If you're just tuning in, this is that seasoning mixed with the olive oil. Just like if you were doing it at a big fancy restaurant, it tastes probably better. It does taste better. And fun fact, I have the bread, I have the seasoning here. I can make it at home. I don't have to go anywhere expensive. And boom, dinner. The way I prep this, breakfast, you can skip your breakfast, have this for lunch and dinner, and it'll be a nice, good meal all around. And we have this down to like a number 2, so low medium heat. Just reduced it, letting the excess water cook off now. So we have our vegetable medley, which consists of, again, squash, carrots, onion, potatoes, and zucchini. As you see, everything's becoming a little more pliable. We're getting close to being done. You know when your squash is starting to get done. So if you're ever cooking it, just depending on the thickness. And this one's here is hot. You can kind of see it's starting to look a little clear. If you're starting to see your squash become kind of flimsy and clear, those squash are about done. And it'll go for the same for your zucchini as well. Alright, my zucchini needs probably just a little bit more, but they're starting to look a little lighter. They're not looking so white. The olive oil and stuff in here is kind of giving a little bit of a sweet flavor. Oh wow. This is looking delicious. It smells even better. Alright guys. And then for your potatoes, oh, sorry guys, didn't mean to bump you. You gotta have a fork. Once you grab a fork, you should be able to poke into the potato. It needs just a little bit more on the potatoes. They should just kind of slide right back off the fork. So key things to cook here first is going to be your carrots, your potatoes, and your onions. Now if you're doing diced onions and they're really small, you're going to want to maybe cook those about in the middle if you want more diced. If you like large onions, cook those with the carrots and the potatoes first. Then add up next, I would say, your squash, because it will take it a little longer to cook, especially if you're doing it in chunks. And then after that, if it's any greens, like if you're doing especially like a green bean, or if you're doing zucchini, or the green onions will basically wilt up and will fade away in your dish if you cook them too early. So you don't want to cook them too early, but depending on the thickness and the cut and how you're cooking it and what you're going for, you just have to take all those variables into consideration when cooking your greens. Alright guys, I think we are wrapping it up here. I'm just going to go ahead and turn this off. I'm going to let that go ahead and simmer down. I'm going to scoot y'all back just a little bit here. Alright, there we go. Here we go. We start off with a plate. You can see the olive oil is rich. Not much of a plate setter. I could use some tips on that. But I do try my best to make it as presentable as possible. We'll take a look at it here just in a second. Normally you'd let this strain and I'm sure look way better and prettier and more colorful. I'd probably say I would like to add maybe a little bit more carrots in the future. And like that. And then when you get done, I'm just a little bit over the top, just a little bit. Take a little bit more of our seasoning, put that on there. And then last but not least, I will take a little bit of our sea salt right on top. And there we have it, guys. This is my vegetable medley with spinach, ravioli, olive oil, drizzle. This is just from scratch, off the fly, no instructions other than what you may have seen here. It is. Phoenix, thank you so much for being here. My chat keeps disappearing here on my YTube, guys. I'm not sure why, but there it is, guys. It turned out and looks delicious. Let's taste it and give it a shot. Here we go. It's fresh, it's hot. Wow. No cheese or anything on this one, guys. It's just olive oil, the seasoning, sea salt, and the vegetables that you can check out on my YTube. If you're here on YTube, you can follow along and find out how it all came together. Oh wow. The potatoes are nice and soft. The pasta, as you can tell, is not overcooked or undercooked. Again, I would say recommend, give your time, some time to strain it out. Oh wow. This turned out amazing. The onions are caramelized, as you can see. We drizzled that fresh and hot. Oh, packed full of flavor. It's not overpowering with this seasoning. It's just right. The aroma and everything coming off this is, it's mouth-watering. I can tell you that just from cooking it. Yep, potatoes came out perfect, not soft and mushy, firm. That's good, guys. But that's it. Checking my chat over here one more time. thank y'all so much for tapping and liking and sharing it out. And I appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good one. Oh, puzzle piece over here. Unable to, all right. There we go, got that one taken care of. Thank you, Phoenix. Thank you, David. Girl Dad, appreciate you. Chase, thanks for tuning in. Miami 2000, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate everyone that was able to make it.